One of the biggest movies of the year, not just the summer, is here. Mission Impossible 7 Dead Reckoning Part 1. But is it any good? We'll talk. Hi, how you doing today? It's Just Jess here. I hope you're having a good day. And today, yes, so we got the movie Mission Impossible 7 Dead Reckoning Part 1. Is this movie worth it to go in IMAX? Honestly, absolutely yes. Why? The movie is shot with IMAX cameras. Caveat, however, it does not expand the ratio with some scenes. So when I was doing research for you folks, there is no extended ratio from 2.9, 2.1, just 2.40, 2.1. However, even so, the proprietary sound system provides powerful, in-depth audio experience. In my opinion, it still felt amazing with the actions, the sequences, the head-to-hand combat, and the high-speed chase. And this, of course, is brought to us with the sources Forbes and YM Cinema magazine, links below. And when I was doing research for the IMAX, even when I was watching it, the extended aspect ratio, like we do, we talk about other movies here on this review channel in IMAX. I was thinking about it. I was like, why isn't it taking up the whole screen? And then when I did research after I saw the movie, I learned that it was shot with IMAX cameras, but I don't know why it doesn't take up the extended aspect ratio, which is a missed opportunity in my part, because if you've seen Mission Impossible Fallout, which is Mission Impossible 6, you know that some of those scenes were utilized in the extended aspect ratio. But weird, I don't know, we'll probably get some more information in the days upcoming. Mission Impossible 7 Dead Reckoning Part 1 is an action-adventure spy thriller continuing the beloved franchise of Mission Impossible series. It takes place a few years after Fallout. Now, Ethan Hunt and the IMF, known as the Mission Impossible Force, are on the run from the CIA until they learn a mysterious threat known as the Entity, or AI, which has shown to destroy global domination and threat and destruction. His team must race against time in order to retrieve this mysterious golden key in order to know the whereabouts of where this enemy is and how to destroy it. One of the things, it's scary because technology we use on a day-to-day basis. We use our phones, we use our computers, we use the laptops. I'm recording this with amazing desktop, my PS5's in the background, but even so, you could even ask this. Hi Bixby, what is the weather like today?
Name the place. What place are you trying to find?
Chicago, Illinois.
Today in Chicago, Illinois, United States, it was cloudy from 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. with a high of 23 and a low of 21.
But you see what I mean? Like now we have, I don't want to say like, of course we have ChatGPT, but it's like now we can actually interact with, like, I don't want to say sentience, but just like technology in a whole different level. So it makes this more scarier. My history with the franchise, I've seen all of them. I subscribed to Paramount Plus just to rewatch all of them in order to get a better comprehensive review for you folks, in order for me to know where the Mission Impossible came from. Now, yes, I will be honest, I saw the fourth one, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, but I was a freshman in high school and I was high as hell during that time, so I totally forgot about it and I rewatched everything. So I saw the first one, I did not like it. I didn't really like the second one. The third one, I was like, okay, this is okay. And then the fourth one, of course, I saw it in theaters, but I rewatched it. And then 5, 6 are amazing, but I didn't watch it in theaters. And I do regret not watching the newest one in theaters in IMAX, because I'm gonna be very honest with you. I saw all of them, but the 5th and 6th one, I didn't see in theaters and I had to rewatch. I watched it for the first time online and to get preparation for this. And yes, of course, you don't have to watch them. It is kind of a standalone movie because there's part 2 coming out next year, but first 3 you can probably skip. Ghost Protocol and Fallout and Rogue Nation are, I think, the best bets, but I wanted a better comprehensive review for you folks. It's better for me to be educated for this, but I also wanted to know where the characters, the relationships, bonds they built up, and also the terminology they used in this action adventure spy thriller. Now, yes, of course, you don't have to, but it is more beneficial for you to know where these characters came from, because there are a lot of characters from previous installments, especially in this one. But I regret not watching the newest ones in theaters in IMAX, because I was a bad boy doing bad things with bad people, basically in toxic relationships, drinking, partying, you know, the college ways. And back then, I was like, oh yeah, I'll go to the theaters, but I would be hungover, or I would be at a girl's house, or, you know, doing bad boy stuff. So I do regret not going to the theaters for the previous one. Haley Atwell, as a new addition to the Mission Impossible franchise, is not only gorgeous and perfect, because she is, but also she is beautiful. She has the right curves and everything, but she also complements Tom Cruise's action scenes as being his companion throughout the whole movie. Like, you see a lot of her throughout. And she also has like the sleight of hand tricks, the pickpocketing. She's a good thief. Now, you probably don't know about this because first Mission Impossible did that. I mean, Tom Cruise is like pickpocketing, sleight of hand tricks, but it doesn't really show up in like the other movies, so that was a callback to the first movie. And remember, the first movie came out in 1996, but she also is like a normal civilian in everyday tasks, like just a regular person, like that has good skills. And she's like scared, and Ethan Hunt, they have like this banter relationship, and she's so electric. When I saw her in IMAX, they have great chemistry together, Ethan Hunt and of course Haley Atwell's character Grace. But it's not only that, it's because they continue on this friendship dynamic. Oh, maybe there's some flirtation going around, which I did like, and like you can see it with their actions. You don't have to have the movie tell you, which I did love for these two characters to have great chemistry, not just for each other but for us as well, because I'm always thinking, ooh, they have like flirtation, you know, they look good but they still like in the same like boat. It's pretty cool when you see it in screen. The performances, however, are high end, and that's just because they're doing this for a long while. It's because the gravitas and the intensity and the amount of like energy each character represents in their special sequences of the movie. Like every character has times to shine, and when they do, it's amazing because it's a different twist from other characters in the same movie, accompanying the same space with Tom Cruise, but also delivering their like, I don't want to even say dialogue, just the way they need to do to represent the movie going forward, because not everything is all about dialogue and like saying it to us. The characters, just the way they are, and each scene shows us like, wow, like this person's important for this scene because of this. But it's also too, let's be honest, it's also the connection of the characters the team has with each other. With so many iterations of the franchise, like I said, I came from the first one, it doesn't really matter like what's going on, because AI is so dangerous, especially this point in the game, even for us as humans. Like even though we're adopting this new technology, for the movie to do this, I think it's like a spot on, because right now people are thinking about AI. Is it good? We have the writer's strike with the WGA writers, which is not good because they should get compensated for more money. Like that's a whole different movie on topic, but it just, so it's like AI is trying to exploit this friendship, and it's scary because AI can look like you, it can sound like you, it's all electronic. And now that we're living in this like new world, yes, you're watching me through electronic devices. I mean, I still prefer to go on dates in person, but it's just how dangerous AI can be to infiltrate CIA, IMF, Mission Impossible Force, and since it can be your past, present, and future. And also talking about Ethan Hunt as a character, you see his past come to haunt his like technical abilities, especially the way the movie's progressing now. Ethan Hunt's past comes back to haunt him, and not in a good way, and the movie explores deeper into that, and I suspect that part 2 will go more even deeper to his, I don't want to say difficult past, but it's just, it seems like the movie portrayed to us that his past is like not all rose and happy. This is before he joined IMF, which I'm very intrigued to see, because in the first Mission Impossible, he's already an IMF agent, you know, and it doesn't really go before his past, and everyone has that choice, you know, either they want to join the IMF or just like be a bad boy or bad girl. And now time to talk about the action scenes. The action scenes in IMAX were amazing and carefully thought out and performed. This is what cinemas and movies are meant to be, especially in IMAX or other large formats. It's carefully detailed shot compositions with the angles, the shots executed, especially the bike jumping off, which you've seen in the trailers where he jumps off, and it feels anxiety inducing, because if you've seen in some of the trailers, the IMAX trailers, the interviews, or the research papers, you know that most of these scenes were practical, and I'll get to that in a second. But with the bike jumping off scene with the parachute, they literally had a plane in the background, in the back of Tom Cruise, going with that and just going down. I'll see if I can find a picture for you to see on screen right now, but I just thought it was so cool because that was one of the first things they did. They're like, you know what, we have to get these shots, and yes, they could have done the green screen, but it's such a different feel when you do it practical versus green screen. And I do gotta commend like the movies cinemas, like they literally fine-tune comb this movie with like, oh, the shots, the compositions, the way the action scenes are executed. Even for me, a guy in an IMAX screening, it was a little bit anxiety inducing. If you're afraid of heights, then yeah, maybe close your eyes, but then you're closing your eyes for like the best part of the movie, when literally the camera's like, oh, and it's like such a breathtaking experience to see this in IMAX or other premium large theater formats. And one thing too, the train sequence that you see in the trailers or in the trailers of the movie, if you've seen the IMAX interview, which I'll also link below as well, they literally made that train from scratch. Like they made it so they can literally blow it up, and not the way that it's blown out is actually what I'm thinking is cool, is the way that different compartments of the train itself, when they start destroying it, the dining room, there's a bathroom room, there's the kitchen, and I don't want to like say more to you, but it is cool what they did, because in Mission Impossible 1, yes, 1 that came out in 1996, which I saw for the first time a few days ago, they had the train sequence, but it felt like that had to be the appetizer for this to be like the dinner. It literally felt like that had to be their walk so they could fly with this train sequence, and they literally made it practical. The fight scene on top, it's crazy the way Tom Cruise does his movies, and I really gotta say I'm on board, because of course movies, cinemas, for me this is like a dream come true, because movies to me it means everything, and seeing Tom Cruise having that same love and care for not only his stunt crew and his team, but the way the movie movies came out for the viewer to see. Tom Cruise is no stranger to action movies. He's done it for many years, especially Top Gun, but I suspect that after Top Gun Maverick, the second one, a lot of people would be like, oh my god, like I never knew Mission Impossible was this good. Like now we gotta actually see his own franchise. I mean, yeah, Top Gun, I would say his franchise, but I feel like Mission Impossible is his baby. He's been the main character for like 7 iterations now, especially since 1996. So he's been doing this over 10 years. 10 years, that's crazy, and he was still doing other movies in between then. I cannot stress you enough, watching this movie in IMAX literally made me hold my breath a few times and jump out of my seat a few times with the sounds, with the technology, with the shot composition, with the actions, the high-speed actions. And it's just crazy because they bring back original cast members in order to enhance the further going forward, but it's amazing to see this in all bombastic. I don't want to say it's popcorn flick because it's not like shut your brain off. It's not mindlessly. There is dramatic scenes and narratives. And then one of the last scenes too that I want to talk about is when the movie comes to its head. I've been talking about action and how amazing this is, but it's also a character-driven narrative movie. Now when I say that, you guys are probably gonna turn your brains off. There is a scene in the movie where at the club, it's all techno music, it's elegant, it's high-paced, it's fun, bombastic, like elegancy, jumping, but it's way all these A-list characters. I mean, everyone in this cast is A-list characters, but just for a dramatic scene to take place in an action movie, I thought it was brilliant because that was one of my favorite parts. It's not the action, it's the club scene. Just you can feel the shot composition, the angles, the way the camera is placed for these characters to deliver their dialogue narratives, the way they look at each other, the way they're trying to plan out their escapes and their fighting techniques. When Vanessa Kirby's there, Tom Cruise is there, Haley Atwell's there, like everyone's in this little club scene together for like the meeting, I guess. And I thought it was amazing the way like the movie made us hold our breaths for that amazing scene to like play out. I thought it was really cool because it doesn't have to be all action. You can feel what the characters feel just based on what you're seeing and hearing. Even the facial features they do with each other for us to know, oh my god, they're trying to plan something out in this meeting. And I thought it was cool. It was a nice beat to break down. It's not just all action, but it's also dramatic in the way these characters represent to us and the way Tom Cruise has navigated his life from the first Mission Impossible to the last one. I've talked a lot about this movie review and I really gotta appreciate you, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna give this an A+. This literally has everything, and I saw this in IMAX, so your results may vary. Guys, this has drama, action. I don't want to say it has romance. However, it does have flirtation moments that you see characters like each other more than just friendship. Of course, there's some flirtation going on. They think someone's attractive. The movie doesn't have to tell you that in terms of dialogue. The movie just shows you that with hand touching, body to body composition, the way they look at each other, the way they look at us, the way they hug each other, the way they hold each other. The movie doesn't have to tell us that there's some flirtation or some more than friends going on. That's what the movie does so well because it's the way the movie has been shown to us. And of course, at the end of the day, it is a movie. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you so much. Maybe consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that, take care, bye.